Hello everyone, I am Dr. Soundararaj. I am very happy to interact with you all through this video. In this video, I am going to detail a concept titled Designing Distribution Channels. These are all a couple of details related to my career. After you watch the full video, if you find the video useful to you, give a like to the video and do subscribe my channel so that you get the notifications of my future videos. Designing distribution channel. Channel design decisions refer to those decisions that involve in the development of new marketing channels or modifying the existing ones. Therefore, the channel design decisions are not only related to developing entirely new channels for the new products or new product lines that are entered into the market or targeting a new segment through the existing product. It is also related to the modification or updation of the existing channels also. The channel design decisions can be broken down into 6 steps, namely recognizing the need for channel design decision, setting and coordinating distribution objectives, specify the distribution task, develop alternate channel structures, evaluate relevant variables, and choose the best channel structure. Let us get into the details of the first step, which is nothing but recognizing the need for a channel design decision. First and foremost task for the organization or a marketer is to recognize the need for a channel design. An organization would go in for a new channel design decisions for the following reasons. 1. When the existing channels are not suitable for the new products or new product lines. Therefore, you can understand the fact that if a marketer finds the existing channels that are used for distributing the products that are being marketed by his company as of now is not suitable for a new product or a line of new products that are introduced into the market. Number 2, when the existing product is targeted upon a new and different target market, this is also possible. When a company has already, for example, targeted upon 3 distinguished segments with 3 different channel structures, moves to target the 4th new segment, it might find the existing 3 channel structures may not be suitable for distributing the same product or products to the 4th new segment which the company is planning to target. It can very well think of designing an entirely new channel structure. So that is the second situation. The third one is about when there is a change in the marketing mix elements. Obviously, the channel decisions are related to the P called place, which is one of the elements of marketing mix. When a company finds changes in the other elements of marketing mix, the elements such as product, price and promotion, obviously the company requires to make adequate changes or corresponding changes in the 4th P named to be place. So when you find change in the other elements of marketing mix, corresponding change should also be made in the P which stands for place, and that could be a reason for new channel design decisions. The 4th reason could be when the company faces major changes in its elements of environment. When you as a company or a marketer find changes taken place in the different elements of macro environment of marketing, the environments like technological environment or demographic environment or the geographic environment or the cultural environment. So any change that has been taken place in such elements of the marketing macro environment, that will really make the marketer to have changes in his channel design. Therefore, is expected to make new channel design decisions, and that's the 4th reason. 5th one is about when the organization opens up new geographic market areas. So when the company or the marketer plans to enter into new geographic market segments, it has to really think of new channel design decisions. So The list by no means is comprehensive. We have only discussed about 5 important reasons. It gives a picture about some of the most common situations, popular situations when channel design decisions are worked out. The second step is nothing but setting and coordinating distribution objectives. It is necessary for the marketer to carefully evaluate the firm's distribution objectives. In order for the distribution objectives to be effective and well coordinated, the marketer need to perform 3 important tasks. They are: number 1, you become familiar with the objectives and strategies in other elements of marketing mix of the company and also other relevant objectives and strategies of the company. That is, so be aware of the objectives of other elements of marketing, the same marketing mix, where you find the 4th P, place is also one of the elements, and that is what the idea. And in addition to that, you also be familiar with the objectives and strategies of the entire company to which you belong to. And the second task is nothing but set the objectives and state them explicitly. Set your distribution objectives in a very clear way, in a way that makes everybody to understand what is really expected of them through the distribution objectives of the firm. And that's what about the second one. The third one is about check and see if the distribution objectives set are concurrent with marketing and other general objectives and strategies of the firm. So you be a person or official in charge of deciding about the distribution objectives for your firm. You make sure that the objectives which you set in relation to channels of your firm is matching with the other general objectives of your own company. The third step in designing distribution channels is specifying the distribution task. The marketer therefore has to specify the nature of the task, the activities that needs to be carried out in order to meet the objectives, the distribution objectives of your company. The task need to be precisely stated so that it meets the specific distribution objectives. That's about the third step. So after you determine the distribution objectives that are very well get along with the general objectives of the firm, the next task, which is nothing but the third step in designing distribution channels, is to identify and specify the task or the activities to be performed in order to fulfill the distribution objectives already set. The fourth one is about developing possible alternative channel structure. Once the tasks have been specified by the marketers should find out alternative ways of allocating this task. In most cases, the marketer chooses from more than one channel to reach the consumers effectively. Whatever may be the channel structure, the allocation alternative should be in terms of A, the number of levels in the channel. How many levels you want to have in between you, the company, and the end users of your product. How many levels you want to have in your channel of distribution. That is point number 1. And point number 2 is the intensity at various levels. How many firms you want to make use in every level. How many wholesalers, how many distributors, right? This is what about the second point. The third one, C, is nothing but the types of intermediaries. What types of intermediaries you want to depend upon at each level you have planned for. The number of levels can be from 2 to 5 levels. This is what the ideal situation. The channel manager or a marketer can think of going for a direct way of meeting the customers to using 2 intermediaries as an appropriate way. Very rarely we find a few companies in the global village try to depend upon the direct marketing. They want to go and meet out their customers directly without having any channel intermediaries in between their company and the consumers. But ideally speaking, it is good to have at least 2 level of intermediaries in between the company and the customers, and that is what the idea every company in the global village except a few are moving towards. Intensity refers to the number of intermediaries the company wants to depend upon at each level. Generally, the intensities can be classified into 3 categories, namely intensive distribution, 2 selective distribution, and 3 exclusive distribution. I am planning to bring out a separate video on the title Intensity of Distribution. So kindly follow my channel and watch that video to get the detail, the complete picture of the intensity of distribution. However, I make it very short in explaining these three concepts. Intensive distribution refers to the strategy by which a marketer could depend upon many retailers through which you plan to distribute your product, and that's what about intensive distribution. Selective distribution, where you select a few organizations at each level, not everyone, a few. I mean, that's a bit lesser than all. Say for example, in the case of intensive distribution, if you depend upon the maximum, say 100 firms you want to make use in every level, when you opt for selective distribution, you will go for 10 or 20 or less than 30 or so, maybe less than 50% you can say, for example, you could depend upon. Whereas if you go for exclusive distribution, you choose very few, might be 5 or less than 10 out of the 100, and you want to distribute your product. Depends upon the nature of the product, the price what you have set for the product, and the promotion what you follow for the product. It all comes to influence greatly the type of strategy you would like to choose with regard to intensity of distribution for your marketing offer. Fifth one, evaluating the variables affecting channel structure. Once the alternative structures have been outlined, each channel structure has to be evaluated on a number of variables. There are 5 basic categories of variables, namely market variables. The market variables are basically related to the market geography, market size, market intensity, and the market behavior. The second set of variables are nothing but product variables. It speaks about the weight of the product, perishability, unit value, degree of standardization, whether it is a technical product or a non-technical product, whether it is a new product or an old product. So these aspects related to the products will also be considered for evaluating the channel structure. The third one is about company variables. It speaks about the financial capacity of the company, the size of the company, managerial expertise of the company, and the objectives and strategies the company practice. The fourth set of variables for evaluating the channel structures are intermediary variables. It's related to the availability of the intermediaries and the cost involved in choosing each firm as an intermediary and the services the intermediaries offer. And the last set of variables for assessing and evaluating channel structure is environmental variables. It is primarily speaking about the macro environmental forces which may come to influence greatly on your channel development decisions and management decisions as well. The last step in channel design decisions is choosing the best channel structure. The marketer should choose an optimal channel structure that would offer desired level of effectiveness at the lowest possible cost. Even though there is no one set method to pick an optimal channel structure, it all depends upon the orientation of the firm or the company. If the goal of the firm is profit maximization, accordingly you need to set your channel objectives and the channel structure would be in line with the goal what you have already opted for. However, most channel choices are still made on the basis of managerial judgment and the data that is available with the company. Thanks for watching this video. I hope I have very clearly explained the steps involved in channel design decisions. If you find the video beneficial to you, give a like to the video and do subscribe my channel to get the future notifications of my videos. Thanks for your time. Bye for now, everyone.